Greetings and thank you for the opportunity for us to present our ACC 407 project. I'm Aliyah Maysara and we'll be starting our presentation today. Our group will be presenting an analysis of Lada Saga Enterprise, focusing on its business, operations, and accounting practices as a sole proprietorship. We will be now moving on to our next member, which will be introducing the company's background.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Janatul Azim and I'll be presenting the company's background. Lada Saga Enterprise was established in 1992 and is owned by Encik Hussein bin Maidin. Prior to entering the food manufacturing industry, the owner worked as a fisherman for nearly 20 years. Without formal background knowledge in the chili paste industry, he decided to start the business using personal determination and practical learning. The business was initially funded by 20,000 ringgit borrowed from his parents to purchase basic machinery and raw materials. In its early stages of operation, the production process relied heavily on traditional methods. Over time, the owner upgraded the production process by adopting modern machinery to improve efficiency, consistency, and product quality. Today, Lada Saga Enterprise employs 22 workers and distributes its chili paste across several Malaysian states, demonstrating the long-term sustainability and steady growth. Now, we'll be moving on to business characteristics that will be presented by the next member.
Hello, my name is Shafika Amira and I will be touching on the business characteristics of Lada Saga Enterprise. First and foremost, Lada Saga Enterprise is a sole proprietorship. They are registered under the Companies Commission of Malaysia. The company is fully owned by only one owner, which is Encik Hussein bin Maidin. He is responsible for providing capital to the company as well as making strategic decisions. Moving on, the management in Lada Saga Enterprise is centralized. This is because the employees are assigned to different works such as production, packaging, quality control, as well as distribution of the products. This allows for quick decisions to be made. However, it exposes the company to unlimited liabilities. Once a company has unlimited liabilities, this means the owner's personal assets will be seized to settle any financial debt from the business. Last but not least, although they are not legally required, Lada Saga Enterprise keeps accounting records to maintain and support financial control as well as financial planning. That is all from me. Next, we'll be moving on to the classification of business items by our next group member. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Hafizul Ashraf. Now I will be representing the classification of business items, which are asset, liabilities, drawing, capital, revenue and expenses. For asset, there are items owned by a company that have potential economic value that can be assessed and stated in currency. For Lada Saga Enterprise, they have non-current assets, which are building, machinery, lorry and van, and the current asset, account receivable, inventory, cash and bank. Next, liabilities. Liabilities are funds supplied by external parties to the business for acquisition of assets. For Lada Saga Enterprise, they only have current liabilities, which are account payable, LHDN in yearly, Berkeso in monthly, and HRD Corporation contribution for their employees. Next, capital. Encik Hussein bin Maidin has invested 2,000 ringgit cash as initial capital to the operation and is the form of the foundation of this business. Next, income. For Lada Saga Enterprise, they earn revenue primarily through the sale of chili paste. In 2023, they generate cash sale of 2 million ringgit 66,906 because of their strong demand customer. For expenses, Lada Saga Enterprise emphasis include salary of staff in human resource, sales, production, packaging and cost of material, as well as utilities, fuel expense, and maintenance of machinery and vehicle. These expenses are essential for the smooth operation business, maintaining quality product and sustaining in long-term operation. Thank you for hearing my part.
Hi, my name is Nur Zahira. Today, I would like to explain the business process at Lada Saga Enterprise. The business process at Lada Saga Enterprise is a system that manages finance, asset and accounting records to ensure smooth operations, financial transparency and business growth. From a financial point of view, the company carefully manages all cash inflow and outflow. These include purchasing raw material such as dried red peppers from India, paying operational expenses like salaries, utilities, packaging, and logistics, and receiving income from the product sale. Based on the interview with Puan Famiza Adila binti Hussein, the senior finance assistant, all online financial transactions are handled by her, while non-online or cash transactions are managed by Encik Hussein. This separation is done to avoid confusion between cash and online transactions. Online payments are made only through bank transfer and do not use touch and go. For the employees, salaries are paid in cash and fully managed by Encik Hussein. From an interview with Encik Hussein bin Mainik, the owner and founder of Lada Saga Enterprise, it was found that all transactions are recorded manually. Sales, purchases, and expenses are written by hand in accounting book. Each record includes the dates, description, amount, and affected accounts such as cash debit and sales credits. These records are later collected into a Word document for the whole year. And then, for the sales collection, payments from retail shops are deposited into the bank account managed by Encik Hussein. Meanwhile, payments from supermarkets such as TMG Mart are received every 3 months and deposited into bank account that managed by Puan Famiza. The advantage of this system is that it reduces the risk of money misuse. Daily records and bank transaction records make the auditing process easier and more efficient. So you can see how smoothly the transaction record make the auditing process easier. So next, I will explain identifying and analyzing transactions at Lada Saga Enterprise. Transactions are identified based on whether they are cash or online. Cash transactions are handled by the owner, while online transactions are handled by the senior finance assistant. All transactions such as sale, purchases, and expenses are recorded manually. Cash sales are recorded as cash received and sales made, while expenses are recorded as expenses paid. Online transactions are identified through bank records. This separation helps reduce errors and support easier auditing. For source document, the company used manual sales record, purchase record, expense note, and bank statement. This document serves as evidence for all transactions, including sale, salary, payments, and operational. The next one is journal entry. All transactions are recorded manually in books, including the date, description, amount, and accounts affected. For example, sales are recorded as debit to cash and credit to sale, while expenses are recorded as debit to expenses and credit to cash or bank. These records are later kept in a Word document. Then, for posting to the general ledger, journal entries for sale, purchases, and expenses are grouped according to their accounts. The compiled word document for the year functions as the general ledger. After that, we have a trial balance. The trial balance is prepared by after all transactions have been recorded and compiled. Its purpose is to ensure that the total debits are equal to total credits and that the records are accurate. So, next one we have adjusting entries. Adjusting entries are made at the end of the accounting periods, usually by month or by year, to ensure that income and expenses are recorded correctly. For example, if salaries have been paid in cash but not yet recorded, an adjusting entry is made to update the salary expenses account. Finally, financial statements are prepared. In accounting, financial statements are prepared using all recorded and adjusted transactions. So, they show the company's profit or loss, asset, liability, and equity for a specific period. Thank you to all people to hear from my point of view about business process. Thank you.
My name is Nur Aina Patricia binti Muhammad Nazri, and today I would like to explain the strengths and weaknesses of the accounting recording process at Lada Saga Enterprise. The recording of the company transaction from source document is the first step in the accounting process. Strengths include systematic recording, clear separation of cash and credit transactions, and detailed expense tracking. Weaknesses include reliance on manual bookkeeping, a higher risk of error, a lack of computerized system, and limited financial analysis capability. First, let me start with the strength. One of their major strengths is that most transactions are conducted in cash, especially with grocery wholesalers around Terengganu. Cash transactions make it easier to monitor daily sales and manage cash flow. Payments are received immediately, allowing the company to reuse the cash quickly to buy new stock or cover operating expenses. In addition, although the records are done manually, the company maintains consistent and detailed accounting records. Lada Saga Enterprise also has a clear standard operating procedure covering all processes from receiving raw materials to packaging and delivery. Inventory records are well organized and cash and credit transactions are recorded separately, which help ensure smooth operations. Next, I will explain the weaknesses. One of the main weaknesses is that the company still relies on manual bookkeeping and was slow to adopt modern accounting technology. Manual recording increases the risk of human errors such as misplaced, damaged, or wrongly filled documents. Another weakness is the lack of a computerized accounting system. Despite being in the industry for more than 30 years, the company has not implemented automated reconciliations to improve accuracy and efficiency. Lastly, Lada Saga Enterprise does not prepare formal financial reports or conduct regular financial reviews such as monthly profit analysis and structured financial statement. This makes it difficult to track performance, allocate resources effectively, and plan for future expansions. So next, we will be moving on the conclusion that will be presented by our next member.
Thank you, Aina, for the informative response earlier. In conclusion, Lada Saga Enterprise applies basic accounting concepts effectively for daily operations. However, improvements such as adopting computerized accounting systems and structured financial reporting will enhance reliability, efficiency, and decision-making. Strengthening the accounting process will support sustainable growth and long-term business success, a representation that was highlighted earlier as a company's long-term objective. That is the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening.